Hi, it's Mark from Mark of the Cyberbeast, and today I'm going to share with you what the #1 referred purchase is from all of my videos. Now, we've been doing this channel for a few months now, have well over 100 videos, well over 40,000 views, and honestly, I'm surprised. The success, the daily posts 5 days a week, the demand for that is there. We get the same people engaging and watching these videos. But what I didn't realize is the #1 purchase that you get from our channel. Now, we track all of these purchases from different vendors like Test Studio, EV Base, Hand Show, and I have my favorite 5 or 6 parts that I have for the Cybertruck that I absolutely must keep. Now, the #1 purchase from you guys is on my top 5-6 list, but I want to share with you some of my favorites real quick before I share with you what everyone here is purchasing by far more than any other part. And the important thing is, it's probably the best one to get too. And when I explain that to you and you see it, you're going to know why. Now, one of the things I was surprised I didn't see many purchases of was the bumper. I absolutely love my bumper. But realistically, a lot of people out there aren't getting them. Not sure why. I like protecting that plastic. You know, I don't like people brushing into it. Now, granted, this is aluminum. You know, someone hits it, it's, you know, not really going to stay in one piece, but it's going to protect the plastic against any kind of little dings if someone just rolls into you in a parking lot when they're parking their car. One of my other favorites, right here, you've heard me talk about it, the running boards. If you've got kids, if you've got pets, if you just have a wife, the running board does make it a lot easier to get into. I definitely love my, my running board. I tested the Test Studio and the Hand Show. I kind of like the look of the Test Studio. It's more angular versus the Hand Show, which is more tubular. And you would think, well, the tubular would match the front bumper. It does, but I kind of like the angle on the side. The tubular one, the bumper, I should say, the tubular bumper, kind of looks good in the front portion of the vehicle. That's why I'm a big fan of this one. The calipers, I thought would be a bigger hit than they are. That's up there with the referred parts, but it's not #1. Many of you know one of my favorite ones is, because I love the whiteout look of the interior since it was never an option. Model 3, Model Y, all these other Tesla vehicles can get white seats. Now, I did get the white dash, I didn't get the tactical gray, but I would have loved white seats from the factory. But I got the the EV Base seat covers, the all white ones. Absolutely love them. I love the embroidered Cybertruck in there in the seat. Definitely one of my absolute favorites. Another one to hold me over until I get my Tesla Cyberbeast light bar is the aftermarket light bar. It's great if you're off-road or at night if you need to see things. I don't use it that much, but it is kind of, gives it a cool look. You know, makes it look like it's cool, okay? The bed liner is a must, but you know, if you're a Foundation series, you already got a bed liner. Oh, actually, no, you didn't. You got all the other liners, but the bed liner. So yeah, I do have to say the EV-based bed liner is probably one of my favorite. It's a must-have. I did a video on, actually a couple of videos on it. You really need to protect that bed if you're going to Home Depot and throwing crap in there. But what's #1? I'm sandbagging you long enough. Should I just share with you what the #1 thing is now? The reason why this is #1, and we've done multiple videos on this, and in today's climate, I definitely think you understand why it's #1 as I climb up here and I share with you one aspect of it. Look at this right here. That is the rear view camera for the Test Studio dash cam. Now, I tested first the Hand Show rear view camera, and then I tested this Test Studio. Now, the Hand Show one did come out first. It was a Gen 1, but this Gen 2 from Test Studio, it's Gen 2 for a reason. Now, Hand Show does have a Gen 2 out, so don't want to diss them. In fact, I have a friend of mine who's installing his this weekend. The Test Studio one has the square or rectangular camera in the back, and you can get a shroud printed, 3D printed, But the hand show one actually has like a triangle camera, which is really, really, really cool. Now, a couple things that makes it better and different than the hand show one. The reason why I love this is for security, for a secondary set of cameras, because you also have a front camera here. The cool thing about this is that you do not have on the rear view camera, you don't have an SD card like the other ones do. This actually has enough storage in it. This stores, heck, I want to say like a couple hours of video. But if you need to download anything, rather than popping in and out an SD card, you just connect via Bluetooth, or actually I think it's Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi it is, my bad. You connect via Wi-Fi and you can download your images. You can look at the images on your phone. It's so wicked cool. This is the rear view. You can switch it again for a front and rear view, or the front view. Not sure why you'd ever use the front view. Not sure why you'd use the split view, but those are options. And again, you can move the camera up and down and kind of make it customized based on what you want to see. I have it just so the to know is right there at the very bottom. You can adjust the brightness of it. Everything else, you can record audio from the interior or not, right? Give yourself some more privacy. And there's a couple other things in here. You can actually go ahead and do still pictures. So if you need to take a still picture for whatever reason, you can go ahead and do that in the front or the rear. This is the footage I pulled down when I saw the gentleman in Atlanta who gave me the finger and stood in front of my truck, rather than go and pull it out from the Tesla cameras, because the Tesla cameras, it's a little bit more work to pull that information out. You have to pull the USB stick out of your glove box, put it in your computer, download it, put it back in. It's really kind of a pain in the butt. But with this, you do have the ability to go ahead in here and do playback, change your settings. You actually have a clock on here too, which is really cool. But on the playback, it does everything, and you can do, I think it's 1, 3, or 5 minute clumps. So you'll see there's a bunch of different videos. You can do front, back, and then it actually also has a, I guess some kind of sensor in there. So if you get into an accident, it knows to record that. So if it's shaking real violently, it'll go ahead and record that. But as you can see, it's got a bunch of these videos all recorded. It goes back, like I said, a couple of hours. It's really, really neat. Anyway, this is real easy to install. You just have to remove your rear view mirror. Putting the nut back in is probably the hardest part, because you do have to fish around in here to see where you plug it into. Running the wires is super easy. I got a video on that. If you need help with that, just reach out to me in the comments. I'll show you the video, the link for that, on how I ran it and hit everything. You can't even see it. It's really awesome. But the one thing you have to be aware of is it does have a fiber rear camera, so you'll have to run the wires on the outside versus the hand show where you were able to run them inside this channel. Not really a big deal. You really can't see this as much, but because of the thickness of that fiber, you really have to run it on the outside. You'll never be able to keep that thing closed. So that is the one thing I want to make sure you're aware of. Now, there's actually 2 more things to be careful of with the Test Studio. I want to make sure you're abreast of. There is actually going to be a little message that comes up right here, right, about the audio system unavailable. That doesn't affect anything with your vehicle, but this right here is something that will pop up. It will stay there. Now you can move it over and it's just a green dot, but it puts a message there because it does something when it plugs into the wiring where it creates that error message. It doesn't affect anything. The second thing you'll have to note is every single time you do a software update, you're going to have to use your 2-finger on the wheel soft reboot. I'm not sure if it's a soft reboot or hard reboot, but the 2, you hold down both wheels at the same time, let it reboot, and every time you do an update, because otherwise it's going to be a black screen and you won't be able to utilize that. So you just have to do a reboot after usage, or I'm sorry, after a software update. But that is the #1 item you guys are buying. from my recommendations. And don't forget, with all of our videos, we're gonna have links for everything below. So what I'll probably do is in the description, I'll have links for, you know, my favorite parts, my calipers, my running boards, my light bar, etc. Because these are things that I'm not taking off my truck, except the light bar, because that is getting replaced with the OEM light bar. This is definitely nice, but it looks a little obtrusive. That OEM one, real sleek, just with adhesive across the top, to me, I think is the best way to go about and get that extra light. But I'm just gonna sit here in my bumper that you guys should have. And we're gonna go ahead and do probably some more videos on the parts. We've got a couple more coming. We've got Cyber Gear has got a spoiler coming for us. And don't forget, we've got that EV-based big roof rack, that really cool Moly panel side looking thing that goes right over the top. But that's not gonna be for another 10 days or so. But until then, if you need links for anything, if you need discount codes, 20% off, right down below, we're gonna have that for you. Thank you for seeing me today, and thank you for buying the products, because that's what helps keep us afloat. Remember, like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you again tomorrow.